Nancy Drew, Weirdness at Waverly Academy. A story by Arglefumph. Chapter 45, The Music Puzzle. Nancy finished her snack shack duties with no major problems, and she even remembered to get milk and cookies for Mel. There, all done, Nancy said. Suddenly, a key flew across the counter and landed in front of Nancy. Hey, Nancy said, looking around. Who's the jerk who threw a key at me when I wasn't looking? No one was in sight. Nancy shrugged, then put the key in her pocket. She grabbed the paper bag containing Mel's food, then returned to Mel's room. You've got my snack. Awesome, Mel said. Here you go, Nancy said, handing over the paper bag. Mel handed over the book about music. All yours, she said. Why do you want a book on musical notation anyway? I need it so I can play the piano downstairs, Nancy said. Mel looked slightly suspicious, as if Nancy was attempting to steal her role as Waverly's main musician. Why do you want to play piano? She asked. Nancy said. I'm writing a musical. Yeah, that's it. You're writing a musical, Mel repeated. Yeah, it's for the school play I talked about in Chapter 9, Nancy said enthusiastically. I'm calling it Warnings at Waverly Academy. It's about an undercover detective named Nancy Drew who enrolls at Waverly under a fake name. Nancy Drew? Mel asked. Yeah, that's my real name, Nancy began to say. Then she realized she almost blew her cover. Whoops, that's the character's name. She's the one who solves the mystery of the black cat. And just who is the black cat? Mel asked. I don't know, Nancy said. I haven't written that part yet. Mel shook her head. See you later, Nancy, she said. Bye, Mel, Nancy said. Nancy skipped away from Mel's room. She was halfway down the stairs when she realized that Mel had called her Nancy. Uh-oh, Nancy said. Mel knows my real name. This wasn't the time to worry about her cover being blown, though. This was the time to solve the musical notation puzzle. Nancy went back downstairs and took the lampshades off of the lamps. Then she pressed all the right notes according to the book. It wasn't too difficult. All she had to do was follow the diagram. When Nancy pressed all 16 notes in order, a hidden compartment opened, revealing a starburst token. That's the second one, Nancy said, picking it up and doing a little victory dance. All right. Chapter 46, New Gal Pals. It was starting to get late, and Nancy wasn't sure what to do next. At this point, it seemed like all she had to do was find lost things, such as the lost Edgar Allan Poe book or the lost picture of Rita Hallowell and her cat. While Nancy was considering what to do next, she got a text message. This one was a picture of Corine and Izzy, looking like good friends. The message with the picture said, Check out the new gal pals. Izzy and Corine are friends now? Nancy asked. That was somewhat odd. After all, Corine was apparently a social outcast, just like Rachel or Mel. Why would Izzy Romero, aka Miss Popular, spend time with Corine? Another text message soon followed. This one read, 3 words gal pal pick, geniuses. Fake, fake, fake is. Nancy decided to go back to her room to talk to Corine. Corine was playing a princess dress-up game online, but as soon as Nancy entered the room, she switched to another webpage and pretended to be working on her English essay. Hey, Corine, Nancy said. Hey, Becca, Corine said. I haven't seen you all day. What have you been up to? Oh, the usual, Nancy said. Going around the campus, getting to know where everything is, having Leela force me to play 12 air hockey games in a row. Sounds like a busy day, Corine said. I've been busy with my homework. I see that, Nancy said. So anyway, what's this I hear about you and Izzy being friends all of a sudden? You got the text? Corine asked. Oh my gosh, wasn't that so cool? There I was, hanging with my new BFF, Izzy Romero. Yeah, but... Nancy said. She tried to think of a polite way to say what she wanted to say. Izzy seemed to think the picture was faked. "Oh no, it's real," Corine said. "I definitely have friends in real life, and thanks to that picture, the whole school knows it. Sure, Izzy's probably feeling a little annoyed by all this attention, but that's her problem." "Who sent the text message, do you know?" Nancy asked. "I couldn't tell because it was anonymous." "It wasn't me, if that's what you're asking," Corine said. "I'm guessing Izzy sent it." "Then immediately denied it," Nancy said. Yeah," Corine said. "She may be my BFF, but she's also kind of odd." "The odd thing is that this school lets people send anonymous text messages to all the students," Nancy thought. "You'd think they would monitor that kind of stuff." Nancy yawned. "I'm kind of tired after my flight today," she said. "I think I'll go to bed early. Good night." Nancy turned off the lights on her side of the room, then crawled into bed and fell asleep. Chapter 47. Poems and Tree Climbing. Nancy's dreams that night were odd, to say the least. For some reason, Nancy dreamed about Edgar Allan Poe. In a sinister voice, the man began to recite The Raven. "Once, upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered, weak and weary, over many a quaint and curious—" "Cut!" a loud voice in Nancy's dream said. "Try again." Edgar coughed loudly, then restarted his poem. "Once, at a place called Waverly, the upstate girls' academy, there was quite a mystery for Nancy to explain. Ah, Miss Drew was rather keen to understand what it could mean. With Mel and Izzy and Corine, the scene was quite insane. Rachel Hubbard was out of sorts. Leela only cared about sports. Yet, according to reports, one of the girls was the Black Cat. Nancy asked herself again, who will be valedictorian? How many girls will be hurt by then? I wish that I knew that. The Black Cat left notes, obscene and vile, heralding upcoming trial, and then in just a little while, poor Nancy would be next. Could she stop the horrid crime, solve the mystery in time, or would she fall in muck and grime? Alas, Nancy was vexed. While she nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at the window pane. "'Tis a squirrel," she muttered, tapping at the window pane. Really something quite mundane. Nancy's eyes suddenly opened, as she woke up from her dream. There was a squirrel tapping at the window pane. It was the same squirrel who had stolen a Starburst token earlier. In fact, the squirrel had the token in its mouth. "Come back here, you thieving squirrel!" Nancy shouted. Of course, she shouted as quietly as possible, so she didn't accidentally wake up Corine. After all, according to Nancy's phone, it was well after 11 p.m. Nancy threw open the window and she saw the squirrel climb up the tree. At the very top, he put the token inside his nest. Nancy sighed. She knew what she was about to do was stupid and life-threatening, but she had to get that Starburst token back. Nancy crawled out onto the large tree branch, then started climbing the tree. She was sure to test each branch before putting her weight on it. It was rather slow going, but eventually, Nancy reached the top of the tree. She put her hand inside the squirrel's nest and got the missing Starburst token, which was stuck among a bunch of papers. "Yes!" Nancy cheered. Suddenly, Nancy heard ominous chanting. She looked down. At the base of the tree were 8 people, all dressed in cloaks. They were standing in a circle and chanting something. Nancy tried to climb back down the tree so she could hear the chant, but no luck. As if by an invisible signal, the person in the light blue cloak left. The others, all wearing dark blue cloaks, followed. Nancy grabbed her phone so she could at least take a picture of this mysterious scene. That's when she saw that it was midnight. "Spooky," Nancy said.